everyone. Sarah Steiner, resident of Leilani Estates since 1985, and that was when the old HGPA, the first 3 megawatt geothermal plant that the state and the university were running, and Helco got in on it, and they ran it for a few years longer than they were supposed to. All the while they were dumping that stuff on the ground and just gassing the children, anybody driving by. So today I want to just talk about my legal, different legal opportunities. Oh, sorry. Different legal opportunities that I've been trying to take because we can't get a lawyer anymore. We don't have any money. Everybody in Puna is poor, and we need help because none of our legislators, even our county councilwoman is a PGB, was a PR at Hastings and Pleadwell pushing for PGB. She got herself into the county council. She was supposed to, they got a $428,000 grant to give to do a water study of PGB, and that was after the 2018 eruption, and nothing has ever happened. She was supposed to set up an emergency response meeting where we had all our state and county officials, and they were going to tell us how they were going to tell us they were having an emergency at PGB. A lot of us don't have Wi-Fi internets, or if you don't live in the exact area, you don't know that there's something happening. So all these times over the years, if you look up Puna Geothermal Venture in the Hawaii Judiciary website, you'll see there's at least 36 lawsuits against them, and with the accompanying state and county officials that are regulating or not regulating them. And so the Power for the People and Waika Consulting, I didn't know about all the extra millions. I knew they got 2.7 million, and they'd be going around the island, and they're just pushing this generic, feel-good, oh, we need to use the heat of the island to pick for power for the people, and there's not ever one discussion of hydrogen sulfide or all the heavy metals that come out of a geothermal resource. And so Hawaii has their resources 5 times as toxic as the mainland and things. We're out here in the middle of the ocean. We're not this gigantic tectonic continental shelf thing. And so we're right next to the water, right next to the heat of the earth. And so besides not mentioning the toxicity of the geothermal plant that we have, we don't hear anything about seismic monitoring. We don't have any, the hydrogen sulfide monitoring that the state of Hawaii allows them, PGB, to use, are 3 air monitors. They're located north and northeast and northwest of the plant. They're located up 150 feet on the new lava flows. Hydrogen sulfide is a heavier than air gas, and it's heavy. It flows on the ground. And so how the state of Hawaii allows PGB to do that, it's criminal. And we have people in the audience and people here, we've been gassed many times. Nothing ever happens. We file lawsuits. They get dismissed because PGB settles. They got money. Ormat's probably one of the biggest geothermal companies around. Not only do they manage plants, they sell everybody all the stuff they need to have their plants. So, all right, we don't also have a true cost. There's never been an audit on the cost of geothermal emergency responses and litigations all these years. All these lawsuits entail not only the Attorney General having to file and represent the state of Hawaii, and then the county has their corporation councils that gotta protect them, and nobody protects the people, okay? And we're getting really tired of it. I'm tired of it. So what I've done is, let's see. What have I done? This is just a couple of captions. The one on your right there is an old case that we've had to activate a couple of times. And it's with the State of Hawaii Health Department and about giving us a contested case over their air pollution permit of Puna Geothermal Venture. So PGV's air pollution permit is, they're allowed rolling averages, hourly and daily rolling averages. And the parts per million, or parts per billion is set way higher than like the stink factor is. And so they're allowed to stink you up all the time. There's never been a health study. We had several $100,000 approved for a health study several years ago, and then Mary Harry Kim canceled the health study. There's no proof we're being harmed. We're just lunatics and we don't count, and we're pretty upset with it. As soon as the health department goes, PGV's already filed to modify their permit on December of 2024. So I'm expecting any time now we should be getting our contested case over why that permit's not adequate. Anyway, this other case here is something I filed in April of 2024. Puna Geothermal Venture was ordered to do an environmental impact statement in 2021 as part of their updated amended purchase power agreement with Helco, the electric provider. And so the PUC said, thanks to Russell Ruderman, who would be here today, but he's in the mainland. He was our state senator at the time, and he's the only one, bless his soul, who stood up for us those years. He did the rounds because he was a senator. He could get on PBS Hawaii, he could get on the news. You know, we've seen him saying it's not good, you need to study it, we need to do more to protect the people. So anyway, Russell wrote a letter to the PUC, and he said, hey, maybe you guys got to do the environmental impact statement. Let's just do this, but we're not going to be responsible for it. You'll have to find somebody else to do it. And so then it was this ridiculous thing where, you know, the State of Hawaii Health Department should be doing it. They're the ones that got to approve the air pollution permit to gas us. You know, since 2015, we've been waiting for that to happen, you know, our day in court for that. Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought, sorry. For 2 years, us in the community, we attended meetings, most of them here, about the environmental impact statement. And they had this document that we all reviewed, and it was just this boilerplate junk. Okay, it did not disclose, you know, the harms. It didn't disclose the harms that people experience. It didn't disclose that we have no roads since the 2018 lava flow, and how was the emergency response going to get there. There was no discussion on how they're going to, you know, protect us or the environment. And so as far as the environment, we had an eruption that came right outside of, you know, PGV's, we had an eruption that came right outside of PGV's property line. It ran all along their property line, but, you know, this is the eruption here. This is the only known seismic studies of Puna Geothermal Venture. I'm sorry you can't see it. I'll put the PowerPoint up on Ole PGV after this, and you can look on your own computer. So this is 3 years is the blue earthquakes. And this was in 1993. Somebody came out, the University of Hawaii students, and they did a study on the, you know, on what the background study, they call it. I have 2 minutes left? Ooh, wow. Okay, well, I'm not going to get through this then. Okay, so we know PGV made earthquakes. We have proof. There's several proofs in my lawsuit, okay? We've got proof from the University of Hawaii that all these earthquakes they relocated were under PGV. This is the weak spot. This is where the lava broke out, this whole fissure line. After all these years, they made it weak. Okay, can I go to the next slide? Up here. So I found out also The state's not regulating PGB, they just used their well KS21 for 2 years nearly before they were discovered. They got in trouble May 12, 2025, because they were told in February to shut the well down and they didn't do it. So they didn't do it until April. Their power production went cut in half. They, somehow did some fancy things with the state. They've already allowed them to reuse the well. That's, I found out the County of Hawaii, PGB has never had a final permit on any of their power plants, not the 1993 30 megawatt plant. There is no 2009 8 megawatt expansion. And in 2020, since the lava flow, they've applied for a bunch of different permits. Everything says return, see the building department, come back, we got questions. They never do it. They build their power plants and they operate. Okay, the last slide. And that's the reason why I just filed a petition with the State of Hawaii Clean Water Branch Underground Injection Control to adopt rules for siting requirements for subsidence and seismic monitoring of geothermal plants. Because these geothermal plants cause subsidence, they cause earthquakes, they cause hydrogen sulfide gassings. We need to have any geothermal plants sited far away from the people, not in the middle of active volcanic rift zones, and they have to have seismic monitoring. PGB has had their own seismic array. They kept the seismic array from that 2009 3-year study, plus since the lava flow, they've had their own 8 seismometer array, but they don't share that data with any of us in the community. They don't share it with the USGS, who operates a website that has a lot of seismometers. Since the 2018 lava flow, none of the seismometers of the USGS are working in Leilani Estates or lower. They are protecting PGB. They keep them on the website to make it look like there's seismometer protection. They don't register any earthquakes. They register nothing, unless it's a really large, it's probably over 3.0 if they would have to, register it. So PGB can register their own micro earthquakes, and that's what all those were, that orange and blue things, micro earthquakes. It's weakening the ground. That the whole ground is weak, and after 30 years, the lava came out. It was actually only 25 years. PGB said it was going to be a 5% chance of an eruption, and that was in their 1987 EIS, 5% chance of an eruption in 35 years, but it was a 100% chance of eruption. It came out of their property line while they were injecting water for 2 weeks. It was 100%. They put water in the wells for 2 weeks, waiting for emergency equipment. They didn't keep it on site. The taxpayers had to do all of that. They caused all those earthquakes you saw in the little blue thing, little blue earthquakes in that image. And so, anyway, I sent this also to the Governor Green. I sent it to, the State of Hawaii, the USGS. They all have to work together. USGS, the University of Hawaii, because they're the ones who measure the subsidence of PGB. We have a Grand Canyon of subsidence of PGB in this report. And then we also showed how during the eruption, it blew up only locally, right at KS14. The well had jumped a meter. That's because they were putting water down there in a 2,000-degree lava, blowing it up. And that's why the lava came as bad as it was. Okay, I guess I should turn the thing over to Larry Wood here, and I'll take questions later.